Oh, okay. What's up, y'all? Fix this damn charger. Not charger. I keep saying charger. My car holder. Okay. Hey, Robin. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. What's up? All is well. No complaints. Heading in to work. This thing is giving me the blues. Did y'all catch the Jay Wilson show last night? Well, the discussion. QI and I had a back and forth. Now I may have come across a little brash, but I stand by what I say. You know, I didn't want it to be me just attacking her, and I didn't want her to feel like she was being attacked, but I was very passionate about what I had to say, simply because of QI sat back and she was an enabler. She enabled VS. Just because you want to bunch on her, you just sat back and were complicit in everything she did. And to compare her and Wiley, I think Wiley's disgusting and he's a manipulator, but I don't think he went to the depths that woman went to. You know, she would just, you just don't. She took pride in victimizing people. Hey, Leo the Linus, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. But that woman took pride in victimizing people. When she was saying that man was John Gacy, and you sat back and you thought that was cool, QI? That was cool. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And for Lady T, she doesn't have her doctorate, but she was diagnosing VS as if she was making excuses for VS's behavior, when that's not acceptable, because anyone that's been out there killing people, anyone that's a person that's an abuser, can always resort back to, well, I was abused as a child, so I should get a slap on the wrist because I shouldn't be held accountable for my actions. Now that's a bunch of BS. That's a bunch of BS. Yeah, Mickey. She was sitting up there and she was like, QI and Lady T. And Lady T, I don't feel Lady T was, she was speaking her opinion. So I don't really have anything ill to say about her. But QI sitting up, and all this time, this woman was doing this crap. If you were one of the people, if you just need to speak to her victims, people that she's done things to, for you to make up this, well, she shouldn't, she should seek mental help. Well, you know what, her behind can get mental help while she in jail if she doing crazy stuff. Let her seek help. People get degrees practically. They know how to make wood carvings when they get out of jail. Let her learn the trade and seek some professional help when she if she goes to jail for being, the person she is. Just you hit this woman from the back. Now that's a punk move. That's a punk move as well. And you had the mindset to evade those process servers. You weren't too crazy because you knew not to open that door. And when you opened the door, you was talking crap to that woman. It was inevitable. Hey, Camille C. To me, it's almost like a battered wife making excuses for her husband. Well, I must have did something wrong, and he just wasn't himself, and the job is giving him too many problems, and he's just irritable. I put too much salt in his spaghetti, and he just what the all of us. You know what? I think everyone has some type of mental disorder that's undiagnosed to a certain extent. We're just able to cope with it better. And my family, let me tell you something about my family on my father's side. I noticed that people on that side have a predisposition to have an addiction to substances. So when they've done that, it's like they get like in their late 20s or early 30s, and they snap because they've used substances, but it's something in their brain synapses that just don't connect. And when they've abused substances, it's like they get to a place where they never revert back. I have 2 aunts like that. I had a cousin like that on my father's side. But my father's a very intelligent man. So it's like he put his energy into more so reading. His addictive behavior, that whole addiction that they had towards substances, alcohol, and other drugs, he put it towards reading and excessively studying. But for this woman to make an excuse for the crap that she demon did, it's unacceptable. And I've never had an issue with QI. But it's just that whole pampering and just babying, and let's give her a hug. Let's give her a hug and sit down and play some soft music and let her tell us about how the world has wronged her and how she's not a victimizer. She's just misunderstood. So just if your daughter and your family was set up and sexually harassed or assaulted by someone, would you say, well, you know what, Uncle John, he's always been, something wasn't right about him. He always he stayed to himself, but he's just raped your daughter? Or you're gonna be like, I just think he should just be talked to. Someone should speak to him. He's not aware of what he does. We make a choice to do right or wrong. You learn that in psychology. My class that I took in psychology, Intro to Psychology, actually, was your ego, alter ego, and your id, which is your family's what people in your family put in you, the insight, the moral compass that your family instills in you. Then there's your own, understanding that you come in terms with. And then there's that primitive part of the brain that just wants to react without thinking. And you want to really just do what you want to do, regardless to, whatever happens afterwards. VS doesn't look at it as her actions have consequences. She just wants to do, let me clean my lens, it's a little foggy, hold on. She just wants to do what the hell she wants to do. So, and I watched some of Sean Bradley's, took a little snippet of what he was. Hold on. I took a little snippet. Well, I caught a little snippet of what he was talking about, and I definitely we were on the same page. That man had been victimized by this woman, and people sat over there and were deaf mute and had nothing to say. And yes, those people that were over there co-signing that crap, I see you. I see some of y'all little dogs looking for a home right now. I still know who you were and what you did. Even if you didn't do it to me, I see you for the snakes that you are. Some of you had no backbone. You just were mindless followers of VS. But now that you don't have a leader to tug on your chains and put your collars on correctly, y'all are running around here shitting in everybody's front yards. Yeah, they agreed with it, Camille C. And then I wasn't a part of the doxing. You sat over there and you saw VS barked orders to them and they fell in line like obedient. They fell in line like a damn Labrador retriever. Don't you run into me. Okay, hold on, y'all. It should have been a turn off. Yes. But some people like to be controlled. Some people feel that they have to have a leader that dictates to them. How do you explain people that followed Jim Jones, Hitler, Charles Manson? You have people that want to be led around like animals. They have no higher brain functions. I've always questioned things, and I was a kid that just didn't let people tell me anything. Well, why? If you told me, I'd be like, well, why is it like that? How come? I used to get on their freaking nerves asking questions. But you're not going to tell me it's raining outside when you're pissing on my leg. Hey, Lynn T. Good morning, sis. But it was just irritating to me. QI irritates me. She's never done anything to me from what I'm aware of, but she irritates me simply by her very being. It's like you just are some person that if your son beat his girlfriend up, you'd be like, well, what did she do to him? You know, Daryl never hits Daryl, you know, he may have lashed out when he was a teenager, and he may have called me out of my name sometimes, but what did that girl do to him for him to put his hands on her? You know, that's my baby. My baby don't act like that, but your baby has been cussing your behind out his whole life since he was about 7 years old, and you sitting up talking about you don't know why he's acting like this. That's not him because he didn't beat his wife up. Girl, stop. She must have done something to him. Until you have a family member that's been victimized by someone, and yes, I think QI was victimized, but she's one of those people that she was so in love and infatuated with VS that she wasn't gonna, VS could have done anything. So it was just me sitting back watching her act like she's acted for all this period of time. And I didn't have, so when she showed her head again, I was like, okay, here's my opportunity. Drop the link, I'm coming on. You know, I don't think that I have people in my family has lesbians and gay men in it. My sister has been married to her wife for several years now. A friend of mine that's a pastor was over the wedding. He married them. But my sister and her wife, they just, My sister wouldn't sit back and agree with everything her wife is doing, and vice versa. Okay, hold on, y'all. So yeah, she was with that. And I didn't know too much about her, Lynn T, in the beginning. I saw some of the later footage, but for her to come on now, it's like, girl, your nose was wide open behind that cootie cat, and you just didn't have any smoke for her. You were gonna, let me tell you, I dated a guy before, and he would act a damn fool and cut up with his family, and I used to be like, dude, you're doing way too damn much. You need to sit down somewhere. And he used to be like, well, my mama this and my mama that. I said, well, are you going to become, so you're a bag lady now? You've carried all that baggage with you into your 40s. And now you're sitting up, you lash out at other people. You need to get professional help. Now, your actions are not, that's not cool. They're not acceptable. If your mother was verbally abusive to your siblings when y'all were little, physically abusive, I get that. I had a great grandmother that was physically abusive to all her great grandkids. And I have cousins that speak fondly of her, like, well, grandma, she was, she didn't play. Grandma was beating asses for no reason. Grandma was whooping you for dropping a jar that slipped out of your hand. Grandma whooped you for anything. And it was that old slave type of mindset that carry over from when the white man used to say he was going to beat the slaves if they got out of line. It was this great grandmother that was from that era. She didn't show love to her grandkids. It was always about physical abuse. And I'm not going to conjure up this image of she being this lovable great grandmother that baked cookies and gave you lemonade. No. I told you my mother was a single mother for a period of time in our childhood. So we had to live with not my grandmother, but my great grandmother. And we called her grandma, even though she was a great grandma. But this great grandma didn't want us to have a Christmas tree for Christmas. We played with our toys. She was like why you buy them those toys? They didn't need toys. It was like she was just so unloving, and that stuck out in my mind. I remember this woman I said, when she left this earth, I don't know where she at. She's in purgatory somewhere, because she definitely couldn't get her ass in heaven, and the devil would be afraid that she would rule hell. Now, and they'd be like, well, that was your great grandmother. You do know people have fathers there are fathers that actually molest their daughters and get their daughters pregnant. So would you still make that excuse saying, well, that's her father, she should respect that man because he's her father? You could say he had mental abuse when he was little. He was physically molested. So just because a person's molested or something's, when someone asked, well, wasn't she sexually abused? Anyone that's sexually abused, those people that inflicted that upon the child should be jailed. I totally agree. But there was allegedly some misconduct of her own that she did with someone that was underage. And I'm not for sure of everything that happened, but I think people use that mental abuse or mental disorders as a crutch. You see how this guy in Dallas always talk about he's mentally, he suffers from what he has this disorder, but he can get on there and he can finagle those old church women out of their coins. You ain't too crazy. You know how to get that coinage. But then when you check him on a live, well, I wasn't myself, or I was, having an episode. Well, your episode could kill someone. That could result in someone's death because you've had an episode and you tore up a library saying Emmett Till. What if that library was someone that was at your house, would you not be held accountable for what you have what it could have done to a person? Hey, real. What you seeing, Camille? Yeah, they all played a part. And that's what they are. They are VS groupies. They're running around and they're trying to play nice. I see all of them. I've not forgotten one thing that they've done. I could be tolerant on someone else's platform when some of them come on, but I still know who you are, sis and bruh. You know, bruhs and sisters. Y'all are not fooling anyone. Didn't you know no queen reigns forever? Did you not know that? Every king's end comes one day or another. Where's my badge? Okay, I got my mask. What are y'all saying? Hold on, I'm trying to get my badge out. Okay. Hey, Miss V. And it's not an excuse, right? Camille C. Oh, Lynn T. That's not an excuse to treat others badly because you're well aware. VS, remember, am I crazy? Because didn't VS say, I like who I am. I'm not going to change who I am. I like who I am. Yeah, I'm going to be who I am. She felt she needed no type of professional help. She was content with the crap that she was doing. So when someone says, I'm not changing, I'm good. These MFers, they wanted me. This is what they got. So it's like, she knows what she's doing. She takes pride in the stuff that she's inflicted upon others. This is not poor little Susie. She just needs help. She's trying to reach out. There's a cry for help. Someone please hold Susie's hand and guide her in the right direction. No, absolutely not. Absolutely hell no. I love that this parking lot is not as full as it was before. Hold on, y'all. Okay. There are still a lot of people that haven't came back to work because this parking lot should be full right now, and it's almost practically empty. Look at this. I'll show y'all this parking lot. These people are all, this would have nothing but cars in it. It is desolate. Hey, Candy Cane. Y'all, I'm gonna have to get off of here. I'm running this shuttle. I gotta put my mask on. Thank you guys for coming out. Everyone for the support. Thumbs up the video. Shine some light on me, people. Um, check the gentleman's panel out on Thursday. It will be on Jay Wilson's platform. Our guest will be Armand Wiggins. Come and check us out. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.